Hey everybody, it's Angie from Trips with Angie, and in this video we're going to be talking all about the yacht club on MSC Seashore. Now I know MSC is slightly controversial, the reviews are all over the place, but we couldn't wait to try the yacht club because we had heard some great reviews, and spoiler alert, it did not disappoint. Now to give you a little perspective, I've been in the Norwegian Haven and Royal Caribbean's one bedroom suite. We've sailed in a Sky Suite on the Celebrity Ascent. We've done a Seriously Suite on Virgin Voyages and a Neptune Suite on the Koningsdam. So as we go through the video, I'm going to try to compare different aspects of the yacht club to those experiences. I'm a travel agent who loves traveling all around the world and bringing you with me, and I especially like cruises, all-inclusive resorts, and escorted tours. So if that sounds good to you, I invite you to subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos. So to get started, let's talk about what's included in the yacht club. We booked a deluxe grand suite on the 19th deck. As you enter, you'll notice to the left, you have to put a key card in to turn the electricity on. To the right, there's a nice shelf. This was a great place to put room service when we were done with it, or if we have any items we wanted to be sure to take with us. A very good sized closet with plenty of hangers and long storage. You have the shelf up above and then the shelf below. That's where we kept our shoes and our slippers. With Yacht Club, you get a wristband. This serves the same purpose as your card when you're on the ship. So it opens your cabin, you can charge to it. In the bathroom, you'll find your bathrobe and the shower. This was a good size shower. We really liked that it had a small bench. It had plenty of space. You had a clothesline, the handheld, the rainforest head, and then shampoo, conditioner, and bath gel were included. So this was a great size shower. Then obviously you have your toilet, your sink area with hand soap and body lotion, as well as a small bar of soap. Up above, you have the two shelves. The bathroom has plenty of storage because you also have this small cabinet underneath with storage available. And then under the sink, you'll find the trash can and more storage available. The deluxe grand suite is the least expensive cabin with a balcony. The yacht club also has interior cabins if you're looking for an even lower price point. Out in the main area, you'll find the Nespresso machine. I loved this. And bottled water. They replaced our bottled water every day. You have two shelves. And then here's the bed. The one thing, there are not outlets next to the bed, so we did need to run an extension cord throughout basically the entire cabin to set up my husband's CPAP machine. But you do have your individual reading light and a USB charger, but it's not a plug-in. You'll have a folder with all of your information, a small desk drawer, and then the hair dryer is located out here because they want this kind of be like a vanity slash desk with a little stool there you can sit on. You have your own mini bar, and that is included. The only thing that doesn't get replaced is the snacks. So only one can of Pringle for you, but you do have all your Nespresso pods, tea bags, any cups that you may need. And then inside the mini fridge, you'll find juices, waters, sodas, beer, sparkling soda and still soda, and then a Toblerone, which is very exciting. Then over on this side is the second closet. So this one has the drawers in it and just half the size of long storage. So you can kind of figure out who wants to have which one. A nice seating area with, I love how they made those shelves as the divider because it gave you extra storage and did break up the room a little bit. And then heading out onto the balcony, it's a good sized balcony. I was a bit disappointed by the balcony furniture. I really wish there was a table out here to have your room service. One perk of your suite is the butler. So we laughed when we asked for more tea and espresso pods, and they bought us as many as we could use. Here's a glimpse of the breakfast room service. Your butler will bring that. It does include eggs cooked any way you like. This was a poached egg on an English muffin. The hot food at night, though, is only pizza. So this was a margarita pizza, and this was the MSC pizza. The pizza on board is great, and we definitely preferred the margarita. Now, heading into the Yacht Club shared access, you do have carded access into this area. That is on decks 16 through 20, and it skips deck 17. So in deck 16, you'll find the lounge. This lounge was gorgeous. This just gives you a peek at the included alcohol. When you book the suite, you do get the beverage package included. In addition to the bar, they had this little snack area that would have desserts at night or little tea sandwiches. Right in front of the lounge is a wonderful sun deck. I love that it's so close to the bar and the lounge, and you can come out here at night. These white sofas light up, so it gives you a really great ambiance. Half of it is smoking, half of it is not. And then in the lounge, they had live music, which was awesome. That was unique to MSC Yacht Club. We've been on other suite classes where they don't have any entertainment in the suite class lounge. So we had a guitar player, we had a piano player, we had a duo singing. Every night there was some type of live music, which I really appreciated. And here's a peek at the captain's welcome. On the last sea day, they had a tea. You definitely want to come early to get a seat, but it had all your fancy tea favorites, and the butlers came around pouring a selection of teas. It was really lovely and a great way to end the cruise. Upstairs from the lounge, you'll find the restaurant. The restaurant is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day a la carte, meaning you order off of a menu. The only exception is when they are at Ocean Cay. They do close for lunch because everyone moves to serve lunch over on Ocean Cay. Now, some of our favorites were the pastas, especially this was a pumpkin tortellini that was absolutely delicious. This was the cheese plate. We had to laugh that it was saltines. Like, I think they could do a little better, but they had these delicious scallops. This was probably one of my favorite dish, was the sea scallops. This was a stuffed chicken dish. All of the food was very, very good. Here is a clam risotto. So every night there's a pasta and a risotto that you can try. One night had an Asian theme, so these were some of the spring rolls we got. This was truffle risotto with a little bit of lardon. That was delicious. These were lobster raviolis that were cooked perfectly. This was actually a chicken dish with like a gravy, kind of a Milanese. The goat cheese souffle is a must get. It's absolutely delightful. And then this was the lobster night. So of course there's going to be a lobster night where you can have Caribbean lobster. But actually my favorite that night was this mushroom fettuccine pasta. If you love mushrooms, you'll love that. And then of course there's desserts. This was kind of like a crunched chocolate mousse dessert. And then here's more of the lunch option. So this was a pasta option at lunch. This was a pork dish with this great green pea risotto underneath it. The shrimp cocktail was lovely, so you got a ton of shrimp. And then you also had these fried, almost like crab cakes that were really, really good. And then, of course, Caesar salad is available all the time. Another favorite was the halibut. This was cooked perfectly. Again, all of the food tasted so good, and you can always get the bolognese with penne. It actually is on the kids menu, but if you want it, definitely get it. And then here's a beautiful baked Alaska and a chocolate cake from our last night. So the food was delicious in the main dining room. Now, if we pop up to deck 20, this is where the exclusive sun deck is for the yacht club. And you can see there are tons of chairs. I believe there can be about 300 people in the yacht club. So you'll see by the size of this deck that it is going to be unlikely to feel super crowded, except if everyone's in the pool on a really hot day. But there's plenty of chairs to go around. There's also a bar there to the right, and then a small buffet there to the left. That buffet is open for breakfast and lunch, so you can just come up and grab an item. Here's an example of one of the lunch buffets. So you have your salad station with your fresh fruit. There's meats grilled to order. So this is showing you what meats are available for them to make according to your preferences. There's a carved meat, so that was pork, I believe. Definitely all of your breads, and then some of just your lunchtime classics, burgers, fries, a vegetable. They'll have some of the meats already pre-grilled. You can get a pasta of the day. There was Indian, especially a vegetarian Indian. All of the desserts are behind the counter so they can stay cool, and then more fruit. And then here's just, what's always available. Definitely a great place to get lunch or breakfast. Breakfast also has made to order eggs, omelets, pancakes, French toast, and waffles. And then they have the seating area here where you can sit to eat your food. So heading towards the front of the ship, again, the yacht club is located in the front of the ship. You can see we have another large whirlpool and a shower here all the way at the front. It was a little mysterious how to turn on the bubbles. There was only one person that knew how. So every day someone would be like, how do you turn on the bubbles? And everyone would be like, we don't know. So try to find the person that that knows how to turn on the bubbles your first day and learn how to do it, because we never figured it out. I'm sure we could have asked more people. But anyway, so here's the other section of chairs. So as I said, plenty of seating areas for people in the yacht club. And then one night they had a special deck party. No other ship I've been on has done this for the suite class. They had its own deck party with a DJ. The butlers all came out. They were leading line dances. It was so much fun. Another perk of being on Yacht Club is priority elevator access. When you go to any elevator on the ship, you scan your wristband, put in the floor you're going to, and they expedite an elevator to you. See, it says arriving in 40 seconds. We found that we would often be the only people in the elevator. Huge perk. Another perk is an exclusive area on Ocean Cay. Ocean Cay is MSC's private island in the Bahamas. You can meet your butler at the Deck 16 MSC Yacht Club lobby and they can walk you down, or you can disembark the ship on your own and find the small tent labeled MSC Yacht Club. A golf cart will come and pick you up and take you to the other side of the island where the exclusive Yacht Club area is located. As you can see, this island is more rustic than a lot of the other built up islands. I think that's why a lot of people really like it. It has a lot of natural beauty while still having some of the amenities, food, bars that you like. Ocean House is the name of the yacht club area, and it has its own private beach area, lounge, and restaurant. Now, some people complain about the beach here. This is a rockier part of the beach. Now, to the left, there is a lagoon, so you could walk across the street and go to the lagoon for softer sand, easier getting in and out. Otherwise, definitely bring water shoes. Here is Ocean House, which is the exclusive lounge and restaurant. I think they're making even more improvements here. The island is going to have a number of construction projects. This is the restaurant area. The restaurant opens at noon. All of the tables will be filled at noon. So if you want to try to come, I would say try to come around 12:45 or 1 to minimize the amount of time you're going to have to wait for the tables to turn over. It is first come, first serve, and the menus are on QR codes, but they will bring you a paper menu if you need one. But look at these views. The food was terrific. I had the salmon, which was absolutely delicious. My husband tried the burger, which was a very well seasoned burger. I also really liked the crab salad. The crab tasted fresh. It only had a light mayo. And then we also tried the octopus, which was pretty good. It was just slightly chewy. Inside is a bar and lounge. This is air conditioned. The bathrooms are temporary trailers. Outside is the beautiful beach area. The umbrellas are included here, unlike the rest of the island. Okay, if the yacht club's so great, why would you ever leave? Now here's a couple things we enjoyed outside of the yacht club on our sailing. Yacht Club does have reserved seatings for the show each evening. They're your typical singing and dancing shows, but it was nice not to have to make a show reservation and just walk into the reserved section. If you have kids, you're definitely going to want to check out the water slides and splash park that's located in the middle of the ship. Our favorite entertainment was Le Cabaret Rouge. It has a terrific show. And as for food, we also tried the sushi restaurant. I'll say the sushi was kind of grocery store grade, but the ramen bowls were our absolute favorite. Your butler can help you make a reservation. And lastly, you want to check out all the gelato flavors on board. So hit up all the gelato shops. That leads us to the grand finale. Was it worth it? Absolutely. We were so impressed with the Yacht Club experience. I will definitely sail it again. I love that they have interior cabin options so that you can have a Yacht Club experience at a lower price point. The price point is incredible for the value you get. Now, a Haven cruiser that I book quite frequently asked me if I thought they should switch to Yacht Club. And I said no, because there are still some differences between the Yacht Club and the premier suite classes like the Haven or the suite classes in the Retreat on Celebrity. And one of the big differences is going to be the food. I found the food at MSC Yacht Club to be great. I think it was equivalent to maybe Aqua Class on Celebrity. The food was good, it came hot, it was a wide variety of options. A couple dishes were hit or miss, but you find that on any cruise line. But the menu itself wasn't the caliber or the upgrade that you would find in Luminae or in the Haven. The same thing with the room service. The room service was all cold dishes except for pizza. You're gonna find an graded room service experience in the suite classes like the Haven, the Neptune suite on Holland America, or in the retreat on Celebrity. In terms of food, if food is really important to you and you really value the menus that you find on Haven and Lumine, I think you might be a little disappointed in Yacht Club. Another thing that was slightly lacking when you compare it to the experiences in the Haven was the service. Now, the service was great. Again, I'm just nitpicking because when you're trying to decide between different suite experiences, I want you to know what the differences are. When it comes to the Haven, they have the same bartenders and servers every day, same hours. In the Yacht Club, they rotate through the butlers and bartenders throughout the day. So you're not going to have the same person always there. And this leads to a difference in service. In the Haven, we would walk in, our drinks would be made, they'd be waiting for us at the bar. It was great. Well, you just don't have that in the Yacht Club because the people are changing so quickly. You might see a bartender you've never seen before when you walk in. And again, that is a really small thing, but it is a really important part of the experience for many of my Haven or retreat clients. They want that personalized service. And because the Yacht Club cycles through their staff in the lounge, you don't quite get that. Again, totally nitpicking. We thought the service was excellent. Everyone was friendly and efficient. I will say it did feel like the dining room and the lounge were slightly understaffed at times. There'd be times during the day where there'd be one bartender and one server and the entire lounge is full. So maybe they need to reconfigure or bring on a little extra staff so you can have those personal touches. But we were really happy with the service. We thought it was great. But when you're talking about comparing it to the retreat or the Haven, the retreat or Haven are going to have that little extra step above. And then the other nitpicky thing, and I mentioned it before, is the balcony furniture in the cabin. You have this gorgeous cabin. I think it was very similar to the Sky Suite we had on the Celebrity Ascent. And then you have this like dinky little balcony furniture on this huge balcony. I hope they'll invest in the future and on future ships to have nicer balcony furniture because it would be lovely to be able to sit out there, have a real table, to have your room service breakfast as you're sailing into port. All right. What do you think? Is Yacht Club on MSC in your future? If it is, I would love to book it for you. Email Angie at tripswithangie.com and I can share with you what the current offer is for YouTube subscribers. Now, here's some additional cruise ship videos I've done. Thanks.